And with that, we can welcome everybody in. It is time to get started. Friday Night Racing at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We've got 4 categories racing in our very unique, once only this entire season can you catch this race. It's the Golden Spiral. Fibonacci Series makes a showing here tonight and sets up our competition. It's a points race for only the front 2 riders on every lap, and it'll follow the Fibonacci Series all the way to the end. It's 12 laps in total. The last lap, get this, the leader will get 144 points. We're going to be doing some big counting here tonight. Thank you again so much for coming into the Velodrome, or of course tuning in on live stream or checking us back out again on YouTube. Welcome. It's the bike capital of the United States, and of course, Redmond, Washington. So proud to be hosting great racing every single Friday night through the summer months. Once again, a great program here tonight. It's Peter Snoblin's evening, so you can see our race program is going to look a little different than a normal Friday. You too can show up to our off-season auction and, put in some money to see if you might be able to mess up with one of our race nights in 2024. So the way this will work, 2 riders are scored every single lap, although this first lap, we're going to score the second rider 0, so that's not really going to do much. But Fibonacci Series, you think, okay, you take the number plus the previous to get the next digit. 1 plus 0 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, on and on and on. We're going to use the current number in the sequence, starting with 1 for the first rider, and the previous digit will be 0 for the second rider. We're going to go all the way through the series. The last lap, the leader will get 144. Second across the line gets 89 in the Golden Spiral. And the sound of the whistle means this is now the first lap. So next time around, the sequence will start counting down. The Cat 1-2s off and away for the Golden Spiral. Now, let's just boil it down to something very simple. Even though, obviously, there's this beautiful mathematics sequence behind it, it exponentially gets bigger as the race goes on. This one pays big to race well late. This one, I think, demands somebody to be thinking very, very intelligently about the last 3 laps or so. How can they get away or in front? That's when people are going to really be competing for points. Otherwise, you got to be really greedy in the early laps to get anything that's going to add up enough. Our first rider to get scored on anything here is going to be Ben Flom for 126. Gets a single point there to start off our series. Now, these races, oftentimes there's very few riders with only 12 laps that get a number of points. Even though Flom may not get enough to win just by picking up some early laps, this can still pay off very nicely later on. Sandoval should find the single point there, while Flom, staying off the front, finds 2 that time. I jumped ahead in the series. It is 1 twice in a row. Flom now gets the 2, which should bring him to a total of 4 points. And Keller Rohrbach, number 128. Brad Cunningham picks up a point there. The leader on this lap will get 3 this time. Let's see if Flom might be able to find another opportunity here. It looks like he's around the corner, still well ahead from the rest of the field. They're going to let him dangle here. I think they all know just the same thing I said at the beginning, which was you can get these points now. With 7 in the early goings here for Flom, he'll sit up and come back into the group. Tyson Danielson came across the line second, which was good for 2 that time. Mario Sandoval and Rad Cunningham both have a point each, is what I've got. He'll fall back into the back of the field, our current race leader, and this will now be 8 for the lead, excuse me, 5 for the lead on this sprint. Ooh, it's getting tight here for 5. Danielson, 112, gets that one. Carl Cunningham will pick up the 3. And I'm now realizing that my system of tallying is going to become unwieldy very soon. Flom with 7, Tyson with 7 after that last sprint. Grinsel picking up what almost looks like an easy point, a couple points, make it 13 there. 8 points, excuse me. So Grinsel happily takes that collection there, putting him into the lead temporarily. Off the front, it looks like Brendan Russell is going to try to make the big move here for Found Cycling. Finding the 13 that time, and it looks like it'll be 8 points for 141, Carl Hofer. The race leader, Brandon Russell, after that last sprint, found 13. He's well off the front. Plenty of gap here. He's now going to have an extra 21 on top of that. Should be at a total of 34. Second across the line, still gets a healthy 13 points. Woohoo! Give it to the rider in blue. I believe that's Matthew Brady for Gene Johnson Cycling. Advances up for the points there. This is really where the value is starting to add up, and this is a good time for Russell to go on the attack. This one should be worth 34 now. Just going to continue to add to the total. That should double up his current points to 68. And second across the line finds 21. That's going to be Brad Cunningham for now a total, I believe, of 22 points after that last sprint. Your leader, though, Brendan Russell, still well ahead. A chase group of 3. You just saw a moment ago there trying to keep on the pace of our leader, who's now coming onto the home straight. The rider just now coming around and onto the finish line right now is your leader in position. He picks up 55 more points. The numbers just keep on adding up. That was Sandoval coming along across the line second there. Should be up to now 40 points just from that one. I believe our race leader Russell now with 113 points. He's going to even add more as he looks like he's on track to pick up 89 here. And he gets the 1 to go. This is Russell's race already. He's just going to be adding in big points totals for Found Cycling Guild. Second across the line. We got a race for second place really now. As 128 is going to pick up a bunch more, give him another 55. That puts him solidly into second with 77 points. The sprint for second, really the most interesting race now is Sandoval in this group, the rider in the blue, the light blue with the black helmet, trying to go on the attack. Russell coming across the line here now will be your winner, picking up the final 144. Nice solo break. Mario Sandoval still trying to hold this thing off. It looks like he'll have enough. Sandoval, number 101, picks up the big 89 at the end there. That'll be good for second overall for Sandoval. And I think I'm now firmly warmed up with my numerals and digits. That was pretty wild. All right, our next group is getting invited up. Cat 4 men to the rail for the Golden Spiral, please. And our next group to take on the Golden Spiral, the Cat 4 men, now in their neutral lap. We're going to start it after one trip around the Velodrome if we're all still together. You know, all things called for here. I think we did an okay job keeping track of what's generally going on. What was definitely the takeaway, Russell, we saw in that last race, knew that about past that halfway point, the points really start to add up, and he went up for an all-out effort to pull away from the rest of the group and managed to do so. And it was basically over at that point once he got some distance between him and the rest of that field. The later you make your effort, the better it pays off. But, of course, you're kind of gambling against the rest of the field. Will the rest of the riders be thinking the same thing? You do want to try to be in a top 3 position, so sometimes going early might be the timing for you. With the whistle, this race can now get underway. Let's see how the Cat 4 is a slightly smaller group here tonight. How will they go about figuring out their appropriate opportunities for the Golden Spiral here? Next time around, the first rider gets 1 point. Second rider gets 0, and we'll start off our series and work our way up. Kevin Ulrich takes the early lead, the rider in the blue for the Gene Johnson Cycling team. He'll surrender that first lap. Again, early goings here really shouldn't be too competitive, although I do want to harken back to the attack from Flom in that last group on the first couple laps. That still guarantees you some nice points, and at the end of the race, that may be the difference between not being on the leaderboard and it being somewhere in the top 5 picture. First across the line there is Anton for the single point. This next time it'll be 1 to the leader and 1 to the second rider. And it's 1 for either first or second, but you know what? Still want to fight for the front. That's going to be Serge and Spencer picking up a point each there. Next time the leader picks up 2 points, second rider just finds a single point. Kind of strung out here single file as now we're starting to feel the pace. This field already required to be in the same gearing, so they're all pretty equal in terms of the power that they're outputting on the bike from the gearing perspective. That's 410, I believe, coming across first, with 445 coming across second. So Patrick finds 2 points. Serge Malikian, another point for him. That gives a tie to the lead between Ratchford and Malikian, 2 points each, unofficially. The sprint now for 3. Looks like Patrick Ratchford will find another 3 points here. Francisco Zapata finds 2 in that sprint. Your leader, Patrick, number 410, the rider with the neon shoes. And the black shorts is now currently on the lead of the field and the lead in the overall point standings with 5 points. It'll be Anton coming across the line first. Daniel Pham right behind him. Anton finds 5. Pham finds 3. Next leader finds 8 points, so the points continue to accelerate. We're just about to get to that middle portion of the race where things get out of control really fast. Right now it all seems like nice and normal. We got 6 points to our leader, Anton, second place, Patrick with 5. Daniel Pham sitting in third with 3 unofficially. At 6 to go, this leader will find 8 points now. Here comes your former race leader, as Patrick will get 8 more, making it 13. That looked to be Ernie Shev coming across the line second. He finds 5 more, totaling him up to 11. So I currently have it as 13 and 11 as the top points in the race between Ratchford and Ernie Shev. Pham still sitting in third now with 3 points. A couple of riders with 2. One rider with 1. But now again, this is where things really start to add up. This one now for 13 on the lead. And looks like the second line attack will be the one that sticks as Patrick comes around the outside. Pham finds 8 more, though. Our race leader's got 26 points. This next sprint for 21 now. Ooh, he'll be down the inside for sure. Bernard Yee for the full 21, 13 points to Serge. Whoa, 446, picking up the big 34 points there. It's Jordan Green. Second across the line was Bernard Yee, who was coming on strong to end this race, finds another 21, bringing him up to 42, I believe. That should put him in the lead now. Just over Jordan Green, who got that last sprint at 34 points. Patrick Ratchford in third with 26. Serge Malikian with 15. I think that's our top 4. Whoa, on the inside again. That time it's for 55 points for Serge. Brings him up to a total of 70. And Patrick Radford that time found 34, making that 60 points. Somehow ending up in nice round numbers. Gotta love that. Race leader is Serge with 70 unofficially. Patrick sitting in second with 60. 42 to Yee, 34 to Green. And the bell's ringing, and now this is for the big 89. Anton off the front gets 89. That'll be your new race leader. Yee finds 55. Well, hold on, though. That's a lot of points. Let's see where he ends up. Ernichev, I think, now is sitting at a pretty 100. So that's your new race leader, just over Bernardi with 97, but he's going to be able to pick up another one here as he timed this finish beautifully. The Jerry Baker Jr., the youngster in the field, times a great end of the race attack here and puts together 2 consecutive leads in this race. Oh, the sprint for another big points here at the end. Whoa, Yee will hold on, and that will definitely secure him a second place finish. The rider for Dyna Racing does a nice job with one more effort there to hold on. The rider coming in hot was Serge Malikian in the red. He almost got him. It'll still be good for third overall as he came in there with 70 points before that sprint concluded. Nice work to the Cat 4 men. They'll make their way off on the back straight. We're getting set for our next group. They're almost ready to start here in just a moment. Cat 3 men, come on out. All right, riders. Let's get another one here for the Cat 3 men in the Golden Spiral. Not sure to cheer for, or maybe jeer for. Don't forget to find Peter Snoblin, number 347. It's his night, and he's in the field. He came to the auction, spent some money, helped support the Velodrome. His generosity, much appreciated, and he got the fun of making tonight's race program a unique one for all of us. So look out for Rare Tech Racing during this one. And again, that's number 347 in the field. Same rules apply. Bigger group here this time, though. It will make these early laps potentially even more important, as when you have a lot of riders, you want to try to find your opportunities wherever they are. You may only end up in the top 6, 7, or 8 places just by getting a point or two, but that can make the difference between not being up there and, of course, securing a place. Not quite in contact. We had one rider popping away. We got to go around for one more lap. We've had a couple of recent upgrades as well. Cat boards are small, cat boards are big. Kind of see that. And while our group takes one more trip around the Velodrome here to get themselves together, good time to get up, stretch your legs, maybe go put in an order at the food trucks here behind the grandstands, or maybe just pick up a new spot to watch. And you're going to want to be in the best place to view not just this race or the next race, but after that, the Kiddie Kilo coming up here in just a little bit. Still time to get riders signed up over at the tent if you haven't done so yet. We will be getting those riders staged after this race and prepared to start. And there's our whistle. We have the okay to race. Racing underway. Next time, leader gets a point. Again, it cannot be overestimated here in a bigger field how important it is to get any points wherever they're available. So even though we've watched already 2 times, it basically came down to the last 2 laps. You're still going to go for these early points. They still guarantee you some sort of positioning here. So Surfree, number 328, will jump out to pick up this early value point. No one else scored this lap. And next time around, it's going to be 1-1 for the leaders. Got a small break starting to form here behind the speed of Surfree, who's now pulled with him 2 riders. Trying to draft along with his acceleration. It looks like, I believe that's Hyun Lee for the Dyna Racing team that wants to try to take advantage here and find early points himself. He will find one, as will Surfree. They're joined by Colin Stotts, number 316 for this break. Next time around, it's 2-1 to the leaders. Stotts trying to make a little bit of an effort here, the rider in the green for Found Cycling Guild. On a team with some veteran riders, but he himself a youngster, trying to put on a nice move here, and he looks like he'll be able to find the 2. Stotts for 2, and Lee, he'll have to surrender that one as 318 jumps up quickly. David Takahishi's got some good acceleration to the line. Stotts and Surfree both have 2. I've got Takahashi and Lee with 1. Everybody else looking for their first points. Now Takahashi is going to go on their own bit of a small attack here. This is now for 3 on the lead of the field. Basically guaranteed. The rider behind is going to be getting 2. Takahashi for 3 more. That'll get them the new lead at 4 points. Surfree, number 328, comes in for 2 points there. He comes into a tie with the lead. Both riders now with 4 points. The rider in white with the black helmet was off the front, starts to kind of find their way back into the field. The field is the front of the race. Our big group of riders have got a few danglers behind, as these races do tend to be pretty quick, and the tempo's been pretty good from this group so far. This one's now for 5 at the lead. And it's time for, Stanley Douglas will find the acceleration needed. Douglas comes into the lead of the race with 5 now, as Kit Colbert alongside of him will find 3. We got Douglas 5. Surfree earns 4 with Takahashi in a tie in second place. 3 points to Kit Colbert in 5th overall. Stott still with 2 and Lee with 1. Oh, Gene Johnson almost got that one, but it's going to be Snoblin for 8. Andrew Lynch came across the line second. I believe that was bib number 301. That earned 5 that time. Snoblin's still trying to get some more here. He should have the speed for it. Park's going to challenge him, though. Park accelerates nicely, and we'll find this time he earns 13. Snoblin gets 8 again. Warning to 323 Klupar for passing underneath, and the points will be revoked from that sprint. 324, pardon me, 324 with the warning, the official warning to rider 324, Kit Colbert for passing underneath. The sprint for, I believe, the 34 points as 307, Mike Jors picks it up. Mike Jors had a great race last weekend, and he's going to demonstrate his goods, both race smarts and just overall endurance and strength here, as he's going to make a nice end of the race attack. This should again set up our end of the race kind of victory. If you can get away from the field in the final moments of this competition, this is the perfect time to do so. Jors finds another 55, well ahead the rest of the field. Lynch picks up some important points behind him, though. He's trying to stay close. He's within that 50-point range. Jors with 89 off the front now, and gets the bell. He'll get another 89, doubling it down. Should be enough to hold on to this race at 1 to go. He's being chased by James Campbell Harris. And the lead of the race coming onto the straight. It's a bit messy over here, but here we go. 328 Surefree chases down for the final 144 points, I believe, unofficially, right alongside James Campbell Harris for AirTech Racing. I believe Mike Jors, though, despite the great comeback effort there from Surefree to pick up a whole 144 in that last sprint, you add that to his earlier points, he's still under 150. Jors ends up, I believe, at 178. So I've got number 307, your victor, by a couple dozen or so. Not a normal point spread for a tempo race. Hold on here. Man, I'm working hard to just keep track of what the heck's going on up here. After this race, Kiddie Kilo time. We're going to be staging the riders over there. So if you are out and around the Velodrome somewhere with the kid, we're going to want to have them come this way in preparation for their race. Just for the official record, I heard a little bit of radio chatter. I wasn't entirely sure of it, but indeed 311 was in no man's land, had not been caught, was not eligible for points on that last sprint. Either way, Surefree picking up the big 144 at the end. Still not quite enough to catch. I still got Jors as your leader after the scramble there. Open women, please, to the rail. Thank you for your patience. Our next group, come on down. This will be our last one for the Golden Spirals. The kids are coming up here soon. Don't get too close to that rail. We're going to be opening it up for you and swinging it backwards in your direction, so look out. Open women for the Golden Spiral now coming up to the rail. All right, our open women now on the Velodrome in their neutral. We're going to start out of turn 4 once again, once we hear the sound of that whistle. By now, we know how the rules work. We're probably not used to it. I know I'm not, but we at least know how this thing's going to flow and work. One more golden spiral on deck for us here tonight. Our open women going to figure out this one here in a new and exciting way. And at the sound of the whistle, the signal's given and racing is underway. Seeing 12 to go. Next time around, your leader picks up 1 point coming across the line. Kelly Rodriguez tries to accelerate things from at the blue line and brings things down into the sprinter's lane, and is already trying to get up and hustle for this early point in the race. As I stated in the Cat 3s, especially in a big field, these single points can still matter a whole lot, but in this smaller group, it may be hard to differentiate yourself from the rest of this field by just picking up 1 point here early. Can never hurt, though, to take your chances and see what comes of it. Rodriguez accelerates, but it is indeed Emily McNary, number 21, Team Oregon, presented by... Well, that's cut off. I'm not going to be able to get that one. That's a spreadsheet formatting issue. Our team there, number 21, Emily McNary, your early leader. 2 riders side by side at the front of the field. Only 1 rider with points, and she continues to try to drive the pace from the front. The rider with the blue and the pink helmet leading things out right now is your current race leader after 1 sprint. And 21 doubles down for another. It's McKenna Lees right next door that picks up her first point. McNary, your leader with 2. McKenna in second with 1. Two riders get points here. It's going to be 2 for the leader, 1 for second across the line. There's Glover coming to the front, number 22. Aaron Bailey finds a single point in the midst there. Aaron Glover making the trip up here to join us. Having her presence known here for the first time tonight. Finds 2 and finds herself in a tie with McNary in the lead. Bailey and Lees both with 1. 3 to the leader on this lap. Attack coming from above as Glover wants to find a few more early in this race. It'll be Glover and Williams this time. Glover moves up to 5 points now. No surprise to see Williams being a little bit patient here. I think she's already starting to figure things out. She knows that this race goes late. You want to make sure you save your legs. Another one of our local speedsters in this group, Kelly Darlene, not making her presence felt just yet as she's tried to save it up here. The field beginning to thin down a bit as the constant pace and speed at the front is putting the hurt on our full open women's group here today. And here comes Darlene for her first points of the race. And she'll find 5. Leader gets a big 8 now. Things starting to pick up. Trying to do a repeat of the last lap. Might be able to do so. Whoa, she will find it again. Victoria Park snubbed twice in a row. That's still good for a total of 8 points for her, but Darlene now sitting at 13 after finding the 5 and the 8 back to back. Speaking of 13, this next lap is worth 13. That's just how that series works. Lots of fun math things happening here tonight. If you like nerding about math, you're really going to love Velodrome racing. Seeing 5 to go. This time the sprint's for 13 points. Oh, geez. Victoria wants to hold on for it. I'm not sure she got it, but boy, that was close. It's either going to be Darlene or Park there. Is awfully close for the 13 points. Darlene gets the official call. She's up to 26. 16 points for Park. 21 to the leader on this lap. It's Park and Darlene again just battling at the front. They've taken their calling card here is in the middle of the race, but now Annette Williams says, don't forget about me. And here comes Emily McNary again. I think she'll get it on the outside actually as a second across the line. Should find 13 points for her. Williams, though, for 21 brings her up to a total of 23 now. Race leader Darlene with 26, Williams with 23. Park with 16, McNary with 15, Glover with 5. That's your top 5 as I have it currently. Next sprints for 34 points. Leaders on the track are the group of 4 coming out of turn 4 now onto the home straight. Being led currently by Victoria Park, who's been so active here in the middle stage of the race. She'll find a nice 34 points here and not really being challenged as the riders are catching their breath. They know the points just keep going up from here. Park in the lead with 50 now. McNary in second with 36. Darlene 26, Williams 23. I believe that's our top 4 who are all in this group. This sprint is for a big 55. Darlene happy to collect that one. Pretty close here. I think Victoria's still holding on to the lead by just a bit. She's got 84, Darlene 81. McNary 36, Williams 23. The next sprint for 89. We're getting awfully close. This will be the bell lap. Big points here. Williams trying to find things at the sprinter's lane here at the red line. It will be Williams trying to take things home here at the final laps of the race. Will she continue on the attack? She'll actually sit up as number 11 finds 89. McNary might be done there. She pulls off the pace, picking up the last 55 there. I got 112 points to Williams coming into this sprint, but Darlene gets well ahead of the field. She takes it across the line ahead of the rest of this group with number 11 coming in for another 89 points, but 144 more to Darlene. Should give her the victory. Williams in second place. And I think it's going to be Park, your next closest rider. Correction, might be McNary actually after her big sprint a couple laps back. $225 points, I think. Something like that. All right, and with that, our group is all concluded. The kids are getting set to go. They're revving up their engines. They got their safety gear on. They've signed the paperwork. They got the race numbers on. It's time, folks, for the one and only. It's time for the Kiddie Kilo. We're going to bring up our older kids first onto the track for a fun lap around the Velodrome, and we'll work our way through all of our youngsters here. Athletes, we'll be back with more racing for you after this. We've got our gear restricted race upcoming. So get your 86-ish all set up to go if you haven't done so yet. All right, off they go. Still catching her breath, Kelly Darlene, the winner of our last race, trying to get the instructions out for the youth. And off they go for a fast and fun lap around the Velodrome. That's a big group. Oh, nice. Racing the big bike over there, showing the speed. This is a big part of our mission here at the Velodrome. If you've ever been out on a Friday night during the summer, you'll see very frequently the Kiddie Kilo as part of this. We love to highlight the youth of our community and try to encourage them to be on a bike and just be active, to be fit, to be a part of something bigger than themselves. This is one community where they can find that, of course. Yeah, showing the big bike and showing some good handling here this evening. And here comes the crowd of riders. Nice job for all of our speedsters. Okay, bring out our next crowd of kids. Come on down. Lots of ways to get kids involved at the Velodrome. Of course, if they are under the age of 8, this is a perfect way to have a little bit of fun here at the Velodrome. But if they are older than that, we got an 8 through 16 or so. Perfect opportunities for some junior training that you can do here at the Velodrome. I'm going to talk about that while these riders are taking their lap. And off they go. Nice fun lap around the track. Yes, there's lots of ways to get kids involved here, not just the Kiddie Kilo, but if you're looking for some ways to try real track racing with the youth, you saw our first rider across the line in that last group was showing us what it looks like in a little bit bigger bike. We've got bikes that are perfectly fit for the youngsters like that one here in our rental fleet, and you can get your hands on one of those during either a youth try the track class or, of course, our Camp Velo programs, which are week-long opportunities. Both of the signups for those can be found on our website at velodrome.org. The camp happens several times throughout the month, this summer. There's several spots still available in the end of July and August for some of our Camp Velos. That's a week-long camp where riders get all the training and exercise they need to know what's going on with racing at the Velodrome, and when they're done, they are invited to compete on Monday nights during our junior racings programs, and of course, as they work their way up, they can also find themselves in other categories. Good stuff here for the kids. Nice work for another group. Lots of good speedy racing here. Oh, and the wave. Oh, that's so great. Thanking the fans, thanking the fam for coming out and supporting. That's awesome. Nice job for the kids. We got a couple more groups coming up, so you can check out Camp Velo on the website. Youth Try the Track classes are totally free. They are just an hour long with our staff. They help kids get onto the track bike and figure out what it's like and see if they might want to do more of it. It's just kind of a low stress, fun opportunity to try a track bike, fixed gear, no brakes. It's kind of a different feeling. They'll get you on the bike, get you showing you what you need to do. And after the hour, if you want to do more, that's a good chance to come out to Camp Velo. If you're like, this is fun, I want more information. As really, that's kind of the next step to get riders the okay for them to start competing at our Velodrome. Oh, here we go. It's been a couple weeks now where the biggest group's been the push bike group. I'm wondering if tonight might be another one of those evenings. It's been massive, folks. It's been impressive. It's like watching the start of a horse race. Off they go, one to go. We're coming up on celebrating a pretty big milestone for this facility. It's been nearly 50 years since the cement was first laid for this velodrome. Pretty exciting times, and since the beginning, since the inception, this has been about community for this place. It's a gentle velodrome, really easy for youth to get involved, young riders, new riders. Always been an integral part here of Marymore Park, and of course Redmond as a city has always been very proud of its velodrome, and this is a big reason why. We're so proud of this community and all the kids that make their way out here. So fun to cheer them on the one time they come around. So make lots of noise as they go by the one time you'll see them. And of course, named after the great Jerry Baker, who always made it about being a fun, safe, and wonderful place to learn the sport of cycling. I have great memories of watching Jerry get the kids lined up and starting them years ago and doing the same thing we're doing today. And we continue to hold on that tradition because, once again, it's just such a fundamental part of who we are here in the middle of our big, beautiful backyard here in King County Parks. We do these usually the first and third Fridays of the month, but during this month of July, we're doing it every Friday for a while. So next Friday, we're doing it for the Derby Days. We're doing it during the GP. We got one the next week as well. It's pretty much the rest of the month, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty exciting. So lots of Kiddie Kilos coming this month. You can check velodrome.org/Kiddie Kilo for the posting of all dates for 2023 if you want to double check when they're going to be. Oh, nice finish here. Speeding down the home straight. Gotta love it. Styling with the helmet, too. The kid looks ready for some downhill action. Oh my gosh, is that our first tricycle? I have a new favorite. We may have to create a new type of race format here at the Velodrome. I'll be calling up the race director very soon and demanding a new category of competition. Got a few more joining here on the back, it looks like. Let's get them out here. There we go. Okay. Might be able to get everybody but the push bikes out here. Nice. Now here comes the youngest so far, getting ready to start. Woo! To your left, to your left. Stay down low, to your left. We know the Velodrome looks so exciting. Down low, there they go. The big kids can do it, why can't I? Stay down on the cement, it's safer down there. Woo! I mean, style points go big time to our tricycle rider. The gearing is a little against him. He's got to spin the heck out of that front wheel. My goodness. Pretty awesome stuff. I don't know, maybe a chariot race for our elite fields and the tricycles. That'd be pretty cool. Just one lap. We can maybe do that. Yeah, totally in the low rider position too. I could see it. Way back and really comfy looking. I'm digging it. Awesome stuff. We've got another group, I believe, coming up here. Our push bike crew going to be lining up for a quick sprint down the home straight. Oh, your first finisher out of this big group of the little ones. Nice job. These are the easiest athletes to make a lot of noise for here tonight. Couple more finishers coming in. Here we go. Oh, and with the windmill too. I think that somehow makes you go faster. Propeller power. Nicely done for all the youngsters. A couple more coming in here. It's the picnic basket group. Almost there, almost there. Nice job. Woohoo! All the way around the Velodrome. That's a big feat for the little ones here. All right, Beverage Garden, now's your chance. You've been saving up your cheers here. The style points for the evening here, rolling in. Let's go. All right. That was a long trip around that Velodrome on that bike. Nice work. All right, everybody, here it comes. The big lineup, the very exciting, can only be seen here. It's push bike time. It's going to take over the whole Velodrome. They're going to go one sprint down the home straight and then be all done. So this is just going to go down the home straight and into the grass, and they're all finished up. Cat 1-2 is stand by for rollout for this next race. We're going to do a quick check on your gearing. As soon as I ask the riders to exit from the Kiddie Kilo, we're going to have you start rollout along the home straight. For the Cat 1-2 men, that's coming up very quickly. Please have your equipment ready. All right, get out your smart devices here. I think the view is to get down low in front of this in like slow-mo. Would look pretty epic down on the Velodrome, watching these kids launch off. Look at that, all the way across the track. It's like old Kieran racing. Blink and you'll miss it, folks. Make some noise here for the riders taking their quick sprint down the home straight. Woo! Down to the grass, you guys. Keep going. Into the grass, down to the left, down to the left. You're almost there. Good job. Wide-eyed. Who knows left from right? Who cares? I'm just going to go, go, go. Nice job on the push bikes. The striders and the zooms and all the things in between. It's the encouragement group. Hey, folks, I think we can call for the 1-2s to start the rollout here. We're going to call for this exit in a second, so I'll go ahead and encourage them to make their way here in a moment. Stopping for the photo shot. That's amazing. Hey, folks, let's put our hands together one more time for moms and paws and all the kids. Great job in the Kiddie Kilo here at the Velodrome. Youngsters, moms and paws, we're going to make our way back out the same way we came back in, so come on out this way. You're wonderful. Thank you for joining us here on a Friday night. You made our evening that much more fun and beautiful. We appreciate your presence. Glad we can support the future of sport or whatever else our kids all go off to do and great things in their futures. Come on down and out here, same way we came in. Cat 1-2s are called for the rollout procedure along the home straight. Coming up next, we have our gear restricted points race. Spin to win. right around the corner here. Don't forget, the youngster just put out some pretty big effort there. That was a big ask all the way around the Velodrome. You can reward him with a little bit of mini donuts on the way out. Okay, well, maybe you should pick up a sandwich and maybe a salad or soup first at Gramini's. But, come on, the mini donuts are ready to go. They look pretty spectacular. I'm looking at a handful of them right now. Come get your order in on your way out of the park. It looks good. It looks good. You don't want to miss your chance. Our food truck's here tonight to help make tonight just that more special. And, of course, taking care of us. Thank you. The Gourmandise food truck and, of course, our mini donuts friend. Behind the grandstands, you can still put in your order. And the beverage garden's still open and pouring if you want to continue to hang out with us tonight and enjoy the fun. Postdoc Brewing and Locust Cider serving all season long. Our sponsored beverage sponsors for 2023 and for a few years previous. Good partners here. Coast Postdoc Brewing just outside of the Velodrome next to the park here. And let's get started for this next race here. We've got our riders on the line, on the rail, pardon me, and getting ready to start. And this race now getting underway. We've got everybody racing pretty darn close to the exact same gear. It's within a very small error margin of an 86-inch gear. What does that mean? It's just talking about the amount of revolutions here for the feet compared to the wheel. And of course, with the track bike, if you haven't taken a look at it, there's no way to shift that gear ratio. It's set when you start the race. Our fields oftentimes are going to be more like 3 digits for a lot of these men. They're going to be racing most of the time. It's going to be 100 and bigger. Very normal. So this is a pretty big downsize. It means that there's a lot more spinning going on to get these bikes up to top speed. We're going to be doing a pretty long points race. A 40-lapper for the Cat 1-2 is just about ready to start. And racing now underway. Spin to win edition of the points race. 40 to go. Points race works like this. The first rider across the line after the bell rings gets 5. Second rider gets 3. Third rider gets 2. Fourth rider gets 1. 5, 3, 2, and 1 on every sprint lap. In this race, there's going to be 8 of them, separated by 5 laps total. And 8 by 5, if you look at the race program at velodrome.org/live, that's a total of 40 laps. Your leader will have the most number of points at the end of the race. So don't forget, the last lap is double, 10, 6, 4, and 2, when it says 1 to go. Lap the field, you get 20 points. You get lapped by the field, you lose 20. Now everybody's in a little bit more of a restricted gear scenario, and it's early in the race. There's very little chance, I think, that we're going to see this field pull away too quickly. Everybody's kind of getting used to the new spin feel here, and it's a long race. You don't want to make too much of your early laps. I'd be remiss if I don't mention at least once tonight about the Jerry Baker Juniors team that's down racing right now in California. Got Junior and Elite Nationals going on. I know a couple of our local elite competitors are also down there. Some nice results coming in for the junior team as they've already put in quite a few events. I know we picked up a few silver medals along the way. Danny Scoville just picking up a third in the 17-18 women, the junior women's scratch race just got wrapped up a little bit ago. And we had a nice pursuit result for JC Pyle picking up a silver medal. Lots of good things going on down there. You can always check the Instagram. The Jerry Baker Juniors got themselves, I believe it's Jerry Baker Juniors on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. We're also resharing that on our Instagram at JB Velodrome if you want to check out the results, the story, some of the videos. There's some great stuff there as well. A little bit of hustle here coming from Ben Flom. Trying to pick things up after a few laps down. Still lots of time in this race, but the first sprint is right around the corner. Bell's ringing for points next time around. Sprint is underway here. First 4 riders across the line get points. Brennan Russell will be the first for sure. He's popped himself nicely out of the field. As Danielson coming across the line second. Nolan Adams in there for third. I think that was Matthew Brady picking up the 1 point there. And we have an official warning. This is before the last sprint. This would have been about at 37, 36 laps remaining. Bib number 141, Carl Hofer, an official warning for entering the sprinter's lane while occupied. Again, 141 receiving an official warning, entering the sprinter's lane while occupied. That was a few laps back at about 37 or 36 showing on our lap cards. Currently seeing 33 to go. Your early race leader, look out for Brandon Russell, who's showing some great strength here tonight. He had the big breakaway during our Golden Spiral race. That's the rider in green with the black helmet, and he's the 5th rider in the lineup right now wearing bib number 129. Already off to a lead here today in this second race tonight with 5 after the first sprint. So trying to be dominant here tonight on a little bit lighter attendant Friday night, but certainly Brendan Russell, never a rider we want to count out on any Friday night, but certainly being very opportunistic this evening to see what else we can see from him and the rest of this group as they come around next time. They'll be getting the bell. Saw 32 to go here. Flom jumping early to the bell. Nice position here. Rohrbach Racing wants to follow suit. That's going to be Rad Cunningham jumping onto the wheel of Flom, trying to roll this thing up well ahead of the bell. But it looks like it's going to be Russell and now Sandoval jumping onto the wheel. Will find the position near the front and overtake. Russell and Sandoval pick up the front of that one. Cunningham and Flom coming in behind. Nolan Adams with the mechanical gets the 3 laps to try to get back in, so he's hustling to try to fix the bike quickly. See what we can do. And 111 gets out quickly again, so Adams will be able to jump back in the race without really any negative consequence for dropping off. He's going to jump back in the field, which will come up here shortly. Leaders off the front. We'll be passing him shortly. Going to be getting the bell next time around. We got two riders that have been kind of dangling off the front, Sandoval and Cunningham once again, but here comes the cavalry to try and overtake. Scott Grinsel for Dyna Racing has caught pretty quickly here before the bell's ringing, making a group of 5 sort of our main field with a scramble behind to hold on. 26 to go. Here comes the points next time around. Cunningham on the lead. Grinsel right behind him. There's another Cunningham 127 in the mix. The rider in white now in second spot. Here goes Grinsel on his attack down the bat straight. Back to the Cat 4 days. A review of days long gone for some of these riders. Maybe even some of them never did race during the days of gear restrictions. Big acceleration from Sandoval. Ooh, a 3-up sprint. Sandoval should take it. Cunningham second across the line. Grinsel will get third. And number 131 is Matthew Brady. Gets a single point there as well. All right, my unofficial totals got Brendan Russell in the lead with 10. In second place, Sandoval with 5. Carl Cunningham and Tyson Danielson both with 3. 2 points to Rad Cunningham and Matthew Brady. 1 for Ben Flom. Nolan Adams also with 2. All right, our group of 3 off the front is the front of the race. A bit of bridging effort by 2 might make this a group of 5 off the front in the chasing field of 6. Who's down the middle of turns 1 and 2. Your front group in down the middle of the back straight, trying to hustle away from the rest of this group and separate themselves as we near the halfway point. Grinsel was on the lead. He swings around, making room for Carl Cunningham, the rider in white. Mario Sandoval right behind him. Making it into this group is Darlene, the rider in the middle, number 119. Nolan Adams, who had the temporary breather, jumps in for this effort and finds himself in the break, the rider in pink with the white helmet. Your field leaving a little bit of room here. It's Ben Flom, the next closest rider in the field, back behind the group of 5 now. Starting to make a little bit of progress towards the leaders. Bells ringing. Our lead group actually sitting up high a little bit here. Your field maybe getting a chance to kind of close things down a bit more on our leaders. They should be able to stay away as they get back up to speed down the back straight, though. So a little bit of a breather before Sandoval makes the jump. He makes a good acceleration down the sprinter's lane in the middle of the back straight. Takes this thing very high speed into turn 4. Carl Cunningham holding on very well here. Can it be Cunningham or Sandoval? Sandoval looks to have enough. Sandoval, Cunningham, Adams, and I think Grinsel. That gives me Sandoval and Russell in a tie, although I might be losing Russell here at this stage of the race, which means that it's going to become soon Sandoval's race to try to hold on to. So 129 pulls himself from the race. The rider that was in a tie for the lead, off the pace of the lead group, and is just not going to be able to hang. So Sandoval, your leader with 10 on his own now, with the withdrawal of Russell, means that our second place rider, Carl Cunningham, number 127, the rider in white in this front group, has 6 points unofficially. Both Adams and Danielson, Adams alone with 4, Danielson with 3, also Grinsel with 3. A couple riders with 2 is still Rad Cunningham and Matthew Brady. Ben Flom with 1. They just saw 17 to go, and looks like the group's come back together again here. All that separation for all this time, but your main group is the lead of the race. Looks like we've got a group off the back of the field. Leader is coming into turn 3. Race leader Mario Sandoval, number 101, is the rider to watch right now. He's got the light blue with the black helmet right in the middle of the field, wearing that red bike underneath him. Riding the red bike, pardon me. Getting the bell, points next time. Good speed here from Adams, leading things out right now. The rider for Dyna Racing wants to get 5, should be able to find it. Danielson for 3, Carl Hofer for 2. Sandoval gets another point, should still be in the lead, I believe. We'll check in shortly. Points getting pretty close here, actually, at the top. If my unofficial points are still close at 14 to go. Race leader Sandoval with 11 points still holds on to the lead. In second now, I've got Dyna Racing Nolan Adams with a total of 9 points, just trailing by 2 behind our leader. 2 riders with 6 is Carl Cunningham and Tyson Danielson. They're good for a tie in third place. Brad Cunningham, Matthew Brady, Carl Hofer have 2. It looks like Scott Grinsel with 3, just ahead of them. $13 to go. 3 sprints remain. Sandoval, there's your race leader right on the front of the field for just a moment. He'll swing up and allow someone else the opportunity to take over. Points next time around. Grinsel hears the call of the bell and starts to accelerate things for Dyna Racing. Hofer falls on the wheel, the rider in green with the black helmet. And there's your race leader, Sandoval. He's got a small lead, so he's trying to make sure he gets at least something out of each of these sprints if he can. Nice move here to get on the wheel. See what he can do here. Grinsel Still on the lead of the group, trying to find the 5. It'll be Scott for 5 points, Carl for 3, Sandoval for 2. Looks like Mike Darlene is up there, number 119, the rider in blue, on his own for 1. Race leader Sandoval continues to hold on to the lead of the points after the last sprint, now with 13. In second, I've got Nolan Adams still with 9. Scott Grinsell close behind with 8 points. Currently good for third. Tyson Danielson with 6, alongside with Carl Cunningham still in a tie. Carl Hofer starting to work his way up now. He's got 5 points. Currently back, I think, would be good for 6 overall. Other points remain essentially the same, although Mike Darlene picking up his first in that last sprint. Getting towards the end here. Ryder seeing 8 to go. Ben Flom kind of bouncing off the front just a little bit here he's got some help from Brad Cunningham. The Killer Roebuck Racing team just trying to push things forward just a bit here against the rest of the group at 7 laps remaining. We have one more normal point sprint followed by the big double at the end. And that's a pretty tight race overall. Sandoval not with a healthy, safe lead right now, 13 points. Next closest rider at 9, so a 4-point differential. Sandoval cannot sit on his laurels just yet. Victory not guaranteed. And the race for second and third also just within a few points of each other, with Nolan Adams and Scott Grinsell teammates just a point apart for second and third currently. And several riders still knocking on the door at 6 and 5. So it's right there for a lot of riders in these next couple of sprints. At 6 to go, the bell rings. Points available next time. Flom's going to take the opportunity to be at the front and go ahead and drive the pace as hard as he can. The rider for Fell Swoop in the orange. Your race leader tries to lock one in nicely here in Sandoval with great acceleration down the back straight. Will find the front. Here comes Nolan Adams trying to solidify his second place currently. Maybe challenge Sandoval for the 5 here. Sandoval and Adams. It'll be Sandoval, Adams, Hofer, Brady. Your leader, Sandoval, number 101, sitting at 18 points after winning that sprint. Adams trying to claw away at that lead, was unable to get to the line fast enough to do so. Adams now at 12 points, trailing by 6 to the leader. But that does move him up against his teammate Grinsell, so he's got a little bit more of a lead there for that second place position. Next closest rider I got behind that is going to be Grinsell with 8, Carl Hofer with 7, Carl Cunningham and Dyson Danielson still with 6. Correction to Sandoval's points totals. We're going to make it 21. That's what he needed. Some more points to help him out here. The official call for Sandoval is 21 points. 3 to go. Pretty tough to beat Sandoval if they find even 1 point in this next sprint. They'll be at a total of 22, and then the only way that that could be beaten is if Nolan Adams wins the final sprint and Sandoval is last across the line. I don't think there's any other way for Sandoval to lose this thing here. So he's just got to make sure he gets into that sprint and somehow number 111 doesn't win it. Grinsell still just a few points out of striking distance for second place. He just has a 4-point differential to Adams. So still within this, so is Carl Hofer. He's currently 5 points back from second place. Number 112, the rider in the blue with the white helmet, Tyson Danielson, also near the top. He's got 6 right now, so he's going to try to figure out some way to claw into this lead, work his way up the podium standings in this final sprint. Adams actually picks up the pace here well ahead of the next bell. He scoots it along in the back straight. He saw two to go. They're about to get the bell. Positioning now the battle. Got to be in the right place here for the final lap on the points. Here it goes. One to go. One to go. Danielson on the attack. We're making some noise here as the riders come flying by. It's one to go. Danielson at the lead of this one. Sandoval, your race leader, lineup second place right behind him. And let's see here. It looks like it's going to be Sandoval trying to hold on to the attack of Danielson. If he can come around here at the end, he might be able to pick up the big final 10 even. And look out for Brady, also holding on the rider for Gene Johnson. Ooh, the sprint for Sandoval looking pretty good. He'll get it. He knows he got the win even if he didn't get the sprint. 10 points for Sandoval. He will still hold on for that one unofficially. Brady, second across the line for 6 points. Danielson for 4, and I think Grinsel found 2. All right, the Velodrome is cleared away. We can bring the Cat 4s to the rail. It might be just a little bit of a wait, though, just heads up. Next race coming to the rail, invited whenever you're ready. Your long points race for the Cat 4 men. Off we go. Cat 4 men in a 5x5 points race. 5 sprints every 5 laps. Same rules apply. 5, 3, 2, and 1 on the leaders on those special laps. And of course, 10, 6, 4, and 2 at the end. And the whistle sound, racing's underway. Riders off for 25 laps in our points race for the Cat 4 men. If you're enjoying yourself, don't forget, folks, we're here every single Friday, and July is going to be a great month for racing. We hope you can make it back out for the next couple weeks. It is Derby Days here in Redmond next week, and we are all loving it. Everybody's favorite festival and street carnival here in Redmond. And, of course, Friday night, we're going to be partnering with the city of Redmond to be busing folks out this way as the party is getting done over there. The party carries on right here in the Velodrome. Last year, we sort of approximated, somewhere in the range of 800 people were in attendance to watch the racing. And that was without busing folks. That was without working with the city of Redmond to advertise. We're anticipating over 1,000 folks to be here next Friday, and we would love you to be a part of that as numbers. We haven't had attendance like that for quite a while. It was very exciting to see that last year, and we look forward to seeing it again. In addition, the week after that, it is, of course, the Vision Grand Prix, the fastest racing in the Pacific Northwest on 2 wheels. You do not want to miss it. riders from all across the country and even internationally will fly themselves in to Redmond, Washington. Well, SeaTac usually. And then they'll make their way over here to Redmond to compete for a $10,000 cash purse, the biggest merchandise prizes of the year, and of course the prestige of our ongoing, well-known, well-loved annual tradition, the Grand Prix. This year again brought to you by Vision Tech, FSA, our great partners here. You can see, of course, their banner at the finish line. Racing also brought to you by a large number of great sponsors. You can see some of our biggest sponsors posted around the Velodrome here. Their tags in each of the corners, but our newest one, Sound Transit, very excited to see their big windscreen over there in turn 4. Excitement is building for the future of transit here in Redmond. Of course, the Eastlink project in view from here. Our sightline has changed over the years thanks to the removal of some trees in this area, getting ready for the incoming transit project. And our thanks to Sound Transit for partnering with us here this year and hopefully beyond to help make the Velodrome a better place. Currently the race underway. We got our Cat 4 men going out for this long points race, and they haven't yet sprinted 4 points. We'll see who our early race leader is in this one. The bell rang for our first sprint, so now underway. And we saw this rider pretty active in the first race during the Golden Spiral. Coming out here against Patrick Ratcher, trying to lead the sprint. Oh, action coming behind as Dan Pham's trying to challenge. Patrick for 5, Dan Pham for 3, Ulrich for 2. Unofficially, I'm going to give it to Bernardi on the outside, but it might have been a rider on the red on the inside for the single point. We'll confirm. Confirming it was Bernard Yee for the single point, the rider for Dyna Racing. Giving your early lead to Patrick Ratford, rider 410. Dan Pham, 419, has got 3 points for second. Kevin Ulrich, number 402 in the blue for Gene Johnson Cycling, is in third with 2 points. Bernard Yee in the pink, 417, has got a single point, currently in fourth after one sprint. 4 more to go. Seeing 18 laps on the cards. And there's Bernard at the front, the rider that nearly got points. Serge Malikian, the rider in red. Good effort there after the sprint to try to separate this field a little bit, put a little bit of hurt on the group. Most of the riders making the break, holding on, and coming back together. The field generally slowing back down again, resetting and catching their breath before the next opportunity to attack. Should come in a few laps here as we'll get closer to that bell. Lots of things going on our calendar, and of course lots of classes and camps, clinics that we offer. There's an awful lot to keep track of. Well, if you want a little bit of help remembering what's going on, don't forget to head to velodrome.org/calendar. You can take a look at all of our types of calendars, and you can follow them there. You can download the links to those calendars and sync them up with your own so you can access them from anywhere very conveniently. Again, that website is velodrome.org/calendar. You can also use links on the website to get signed up for the newsletter. If you like receiving information to your email from our team, you'll get a newsletter roughly once a month with big updates and stories going on, as well as requests for help. As always, you can find us on the socials at JB Velodrome on Twitter and Instagram. Bells ringing for points. Next time around, 5, 3, 2, and 1. Corner one crowd over there, they know how to make some noise. They're helping out the riders. I hear you over there. Turn one's rocking it. Good acceleration here on the back straight. 3 riders across the track. And now it's going to leave 2. He's trying to find his way up towards the front, but here comes Anton for the Jerry Baker Jr.'s team. Finds 5. Bernard Yee for 3. Jordan Green for 2. Serge Malikian for 1. Two riders with 5 points apiece is Patrick Ratchford and Anton Ernichev now in a tie for the lead. Bernard Yee in third with 4 points. Daniel Pham in fifth with 3. We also got Kevin Ulrich and Jordan Green with 2. Serge Malikian with 1. Those are the unofficial points totals coming in after 2 sprints. Riders seeing 14 to go. Ongoing racing going on down in Carson, California right now. A little ways back, I heard the update. It's been a few minutes as I heard, but David Magidson, another member of the Jerry Baker Juniors, placing 4th in the 17-18 scratch race for the junior men. So some more good efforts going on down there. I know you can find the timing results and everything online. I know they're posting those if you're able to find that. But you can always, again, make sure to follow the Jerry Baker Juniors on their Instagram for all of the posts and the follow-up. They'll be making kind of recap stories every day to let you know how things are going down there. If you want to know about them, you can also go to the jbakerjuniors.org website to learn more about the team and maybe get one of the youngsters in your life or someone you know who might be looking for something like that, an opportunity to ride their bike competitively. If they're looking for a home, that's not a bad one to look into. They've got great connections, obviously, with our staff here and opportunities to train and prepare at our Velodrome for competition. Currently, 4 of our staff members are down there as coaches, also serving as direct support for our 21 national competitors that have flown down to Carson. So exciting to see that going on this week. We're also represented by a couple other elite competitors. They're also competing during this same timeline. I know John Bowie was kind of our local superstar in the early parts of the season. He's not here this week as he flew down for competition as well. So missing today. Haven't seen results for either him or Alex Siegel, who I also know made his way down there, who's also serving part-time coach as he's racing and coaching. So good showing for the region here this week down in Carson. Excited to watch those results as they're coming in. We're seeing 11 to go, a couple sprints left. Anton, one of your new leaders for the Jerry Baker Juniors, tries to go on the attack right at the bell. Lead this thing out now. Jordan Green, the rider in gray, right behind him. Down the back straight, the rider in blue, Kevin Ulrich, is trying to make this thing quick as well. Here comes Jordan Green with a big acceleration in the middle of the turn. Almost like he found another gear. Nice jump for him. Jordan Green for 5, Kevin Ulrich for 3, Bernard Yee for 2, Anton Ernichev for 1. Okay, well, based on that, we got the Jordan Green fan club over there somewhere. There they are. All right, I hear you. Welcome to Friday Night Racing. Good stuff. And currently, Jordan Green, after picking up that one, is working his way well up into the leaderboards. Let's see where he is. He's first overall now with 7 points. I got him unofficially as your race leader. What's right behind him is Anton Ernichev with 6, just 1 point back. And then look at this, 3 riders, I think with 5 each. Yee, Ratchford, and Ulrich. Bernard Yee, also one of the riders with 6. My correction there. So we've got Ernichev and Yee tied for second, 1 point behind Jordan Green. Eight to go. 2 sprints remain. Serge Malikian on the front, one of the riders with at least a point to the name. It looks like they've got 1 so far. I'm trying to find more here in the future. Our group of 5 altogether on the back straight is the lead of the race now. Your race leader is in there, the rider in gray with the black helmet, also with the official fan club. Travels well. Who else is in there? Bernard Yee in a tie with Anton Ernichev for second. The rider in pink with the white helmet for Dyna Racing, that's Yee. Right behind him is Anton Ernichev in the black with the blue sleeve. Those are your top 3 riders, and of course they're all represented here in the lead group, who's dropped a few more riders here in the last couple of laps. The distance getting to some of our competitors. Kevin Ulrich also in the mix here, number 402, just 2 points behind the leader. He's got 5. That's the rider in blue at the front of the group right now, who pulls up and out of the way for Serge Malikian, who now takes over the lead spot. Some quicker rotations there. Riders trying to look around, especially on Anton there. Doesn't try to take a pole as he knows the bell's coming. So he's going to wait for this one. And now the bell's ringing. A little bit of hesitation from everybody as they're trying to decide who's going to try to make the jump first. A little bit of tiredness here from some of our athletes trying to get a little bit of extra oxygen before the next jump. And here goes Ernishev now as the field could see him make his leap down into the back straight. This rider's got some good distance here tonight. Another big attack for the junior, still looking like he's got a lot more to give, and he's got way more finishing speed here than the rest of the leaders. He's just dropped them out of turn 4 here. Plenty of room if he wants to carry it a little bit more. We'll see what he does, likely to join back in. Here comes Yi, Ulrich, and Malikian. Give the lead back to the kid. Anton Ernishev picking up 5, gives him now the lead with 11. 9 points to Bernard Yi in second. 2 riders with 7 points apiece is both Kevin Ulrich and Jordan Green. Now in a tie for third. That's your top 4 riders overall. After that, I got 5 points for Ratchford, 3 to Daniel Pham, 2 to Malikian. Seeing 4 to go. Your crew all together, 6 riders at the blue line, catching their breath, getting ready for the big last sprint, a very important one. This is still far from over. As the point differential is not that big, nobody's really earned a big healthy pile of points so they can just kind of cruise their way in for a finish. Ernishev just a few points up on the rest of the field at 11 points. The next closest rider is Bernard Yi with 9, so only 2 points separate first and second, and only 2 more back to the riders in third. So a total of 4 points for the top 3 spots means that this last sprint will settle a lot of things here for this group. 3 to go. Ernishev, the current race leader, sitting above the red line right alongside of Malikian. Under the Stanley sign, your field of 8 riders, make it 7, excuse me, are all together as the front of the race. There's 1 rider who got lapped during the process. So 6 are still on the current lap. They're saying 2 to go. Kind of cruising right now. Everybody's just happy to be behind Ernishev and Malikian for another lap, it looks like. They're not really riding anymore in a pace line. We're really trying to make any sort of tactical choices. Is just totally passive. Just allow everything to reset, close everything down, take some deep breaths, and then get ready to open up for the jets here again at the end. Use the last bit of fuel you got left in the system. And interestingly enough, the riders at the front will just go ahead and come up out of the saddle and just start to accelerate as here comes the move from Serge Malikian. 1 to go. The rider in red tries to take things out of turn 4. This 4 likely first, second, and third to be completely separated here depending on how this race ends. Jordan Green sat out the last sprint, so he's looking a little fresh. The rider in gray trying to reposition himself in a great sprint down the back straight. He's got fresh legs after sitting out the last one, and he's making it look just as easy as Anton did the last time. Jordan Green will pick up the 10, and that should be enough. Can he get there? He absolutely will. Jordan Green for the final 10 will be your victor. 6 points, I think, to Bernard Yi. 4 points for Anton Ernishev. Unofficially, Yi coming in across the line second puts him in a tie with Anton, giving him the tiebreaker. It should be the rider for Dyna Racing in second, your Jerry Baker Jr. in third. Our unattached rider, the rider in gray, Jordan Green, your victor. Coming all the way in from Lake Tapps, Washington. Velodrome looks open and clear. We're just finishing the rollout procedure, and as that finishes, we can bring those riders up to the rail. Cat 3, men, once you've completed rollout, you are invited to the rail. We are ready for you. Long scratch coming up for the Cat 3s. Up after this short break for our rollout procedure. Good time to stretch out your legs, go put an order at the food trucks. They are still here enjoying the evening with us. I hope you're having a good evening as well. If you're out here enjoying the views of the Velodrome, thanks for coming, making your way out to the park this beautiful evening. We host great Friday night racing every single week at this time, 7 o'clock. Just the only problem is that darn precipitation every once in a while. If it rains, we got to cancel. So do keep yourself posted on those rainy days to at JB Velodrome on Twitter, Instagram. I guess we're going to have to figure out what this new Threads thing is too, huh? You can also follow us on Facebook where you can look for the Jerry Baker Velodrome. You'll find our fan page there. And if we have a cancellation, we'll let you know through those channels. And here comes the Cat 3s for their 30-lap points race. 6x5 format, still gear restricted. Spin to win format here tonight. One more race after this for the open women in this points race format before we're going to end things out with elimination races. That's always fun to end on, eliminations. Especially since the first out I hear gets a Beer Garden Preme. Oh, and if a junior wins, it's $10. Okay, I like that. That's a good way to do that. I appreciate that. Oh, good, got it. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right. $30 to go, and Peter Snoblin, it's his race night. He said, stop spinning so fast. I heard him, so you got to listen. He spent the money to determine what we're supposed to do tonight, so he's the boss. Mike Ritter, though, ignoring the command, does come to the front and decides to lead this early lap. The rider in pink for Dyna Racing. Our biggest field tonight. Shown some good speed in the first race here this evening in the Golden Spiral. Pulled apart in some interesting ways, but here we are all back together again. 6 chances to pick up points in some sprints for the Cat 3s. As it's Snoblin now on the lead for his race night, at least for now, for Airtech Racing. Right behind him his teammate, Campbell Harris. 26 to go means the bell's ringing for our first points tonight for the group. Peter Snoblin on the lead of things. Andrew Lynch right on his wheel, and here comes Mike Jors, our winner of the first race from the Golden Spiral. He has been very strong at this point of the season, trying to get some big upgrade points. Might be seeing him join a different group here by the end of this season, depending on how many more of these kinds of nights we see from him. Here comes Jors now at the front. Losing it to the line to Sherfrey, who will take the first 5. Jors for 3. Lynch for 2. And I think that might have been Ritter. It's awfully close between him and Snoblin. Folks, maple bacon mini donuts. Holy moly. I'm just saying. I'll say it again. Maple bacon mini donuts. I'm just gonna leave that. I mean, it's not like invented here, but like it's executed very well. Let me just put it that way. That's a tasty bite. We still got our food trucks hanging out here behind the grandstands, and still with plenty of racing ahead of you. You don't want to miss your chance to put in an order before the evening's done. Let our food trucks know that you appreciate them being here. Might be able to get them back again for another edition of racing sometime in the future. Your early race leader, Josh Sherfrey, picks up the first 5. That's the rider in the all-black kit, currently the 4th wheel in the front line up there in the sprinters lane. Right behind Mike Jors, who came across the line second for 3. Again, a great showing here tonight for our home crowd. One of the things that we hear at the Vision Grand Prix in a couple weeks is that Redmond is a special place because we have so many people come out. It's such a big show. I mean, as wonderful as some facilities are across the country, they have the buildings, but they don't necessarily always have the heart and the soul that we got up here in Redmond, let me tell you. People talk about this place all across the world when they come in flying and compete. That's because we have such a great supportive community that makes it out, and they actually put their hands together, make some noise when things are exciting. We want you to be there for it these next 2 weeks. So if you're able to make it out to the Velodrome again, we want to make sure you know next Friday and the Friday after are really going to be something special. We'd love for you to be there. Currently on the track, though, a nice attack here. That's David Takahashi trying to take off. Peter Snoblin says, no way. Jose, come on back in here. 318 makes a good break of things and opens up a nice gap. Snoblin scrambling away from the rest of the group is able to start to close this thing down pretty quickly. Here comes the counter punch from the group now as the field really sending out some top speed riders here. Takahashi will be able to get the 5. Oh, Lynch for 3, Sherfrey for 2, Jors for 1. That should give you your new points totals. 7 to your leader, Josh Sherfrey. Wearing bib number 328. In second place, a tie for 2 riders with 5 apiece. Number 301, Andrew Lynch. And number 318, David Takahashi. In fourth, I got 4 points to Mike Jors, number 307. The only other point I have out there in the field, I believe, is 1 point for Mike Ritter. And those point totals are confirmed. Showing 18 to go. Not quite to that halfway point yet. We'll have that soon here. Our next sprint opportunity coming up shortly. Your race leader now at the front of the field with 7 points, only 2 points ahead of the riders in second. One of those riders is Andrew Lynch, the rider in blue for Gene Johnson, who was just at the front and pulled now midway in this lineup. It's kind of in the second line, kind of in the middle of the group now. Our other rider, David Takahashi, who made that solo break for the last sprint, Number 318 for Act Racing. It's got the white kit with the black helmet, almost at the back of the group right now, taking a bit of a rest after that big effort for the solo attack. 17 to go. Another reason it can be really fun to be out here and cheer during these couple of weeks is just to realize not only do we have great racing every single Friday night put on by hometown heroes, folks just like you and me that live in our communities and commute in here to Redmond to compete, all from over Western Washington, sometimes as far as Portland, from British Columbia, they'll come down and make their way here. But also we get to see those riders compete against some of the world's best here at the Vision Grand Prix in a couple weeks. And if you've been out here, it makes it just that much more fun to cheer for the local favorites against some really high-flying speedsters once the racing really gets going. At the bell's ringing at 16 to go with James Campbell Harris finding the front of this thing. He hasn't found any points yet, trying to find something opportunistic here in the middle of the race, but he's also got some really fast finishes right behind him. Haven't called his name yet, as Jamie Park had a great week last week, is now finding a bit of acceleration from about 2 wheels back. He'll find his way now up to the front, just between the blue line and sprinter's lane. Jamie Park leading things out. Wow, it's wide across the track. Jamie Park, Mike Jors, I think that's Takahashi, and then maybe Sherfree in that order. We're going to wait for the official call, as that was all across the track. Nice move for Park, though. He'll be clearing away for the winner on 5 points. Yeah, we're going to have to review that one. That was very tight across the line for the second, third, and fourth positions for sure. Wide across the track. It was only Jamie that really had a clear lead. Snoblin is on the move. 14 to go. Good time for him to try to break away a little bit here. The official order from that last one in second across the line was Jors. Third across the line, Takahashi. Fourth across the line was Sherfree. I got your unofficial points totals as Josh Sherfree in the lead with 8. Takahashi and Jors in second, both with 7. In fourth, both with 5, Jamie Park and Andrew Lynch. Solo break for Snoblin, though. This is pretty big. Tonight's race night. He knew what he was setting up for. He could have trained perfectly this entire last year for this moment. Okay, not that long. A couple months. His entire offseason could have been leading to this moment. He had the checkbook ready. He says, I'm going to win this points race tonight in an 86. No one's going to know I'm ready for it. I've been doing nothing but training at this gear. You have no idea what's going to hit you over the head here. Snowby driving it on his own. 11 to go, and rider 347 riding away. The field getting the bell as well. Looks that's going to be Jamie Park, number 320, on the lead of this thing. A little bit of hesitation from the group yet. They've really allowed this thing to open up so big. They may not be very motivated until after the sprint. They may have to try to get organized a little bit more. Here's a bit of a jump here from Darlene, who's double dipping tonight. The rider who won her last race and then also went out and started the kids for the Kiddie Kilos. There goes Snoblin for his 5. Kelly trying to take on Sherfree. It'll be Sherfree. Oh, Takahashi and Darlene. Still a good race here at the top, but Snoblin's trying to make it no longer an issue what the field's doing. He just wants to make it all about him. He found the first points of the race, and he still has a nice breakaway here at 9 to go. Your leader in position, still not a leader in points. In fact, not even to the top 3 yet with 5 points. Let's see who our leaders are points-wise. Josh Sherfree leads with 11, I believe. 9 to David Takahashi in second. And in third is Mike Jors with 7. Those are your top 3, and they're all in the field. We also still have, of course, Lynch with 5. and Jamie Park with 5, which means we have a 3-way tie beneath the top 3. But Snoblin off the front, totally positioned to change that up. There's no question he's going to be getting more points here. Can he get all of the rest of the points? If he can do so, he will be 15 points richer, ending with 20. Even with 20 points, though, the chasing field could still have a rider who totals higher than that. So he definitely needs to find these points. Saw 8 to go. We got a sprint coming up in a couple more laps. Snoblin still nearly a half lap on the rest of the field. In fact, fast enough, he's about to put a couple of riders into the no man's land zone here, take them half down a lap. They're not down the lap until the field gets to them. Here comes 7 to go. Snoblin just continuing to demonstrate great athleticism. This has always been his strength, is a consistent effort like this. And if a field's let you get away, you're going to do this to them, absolutely. Get into your zone, drive the pace, stay consistent. The field's starting to maybe feel a little bit anxious here. Darlene and Park kind of pushing away just a tiny bit. Here comes Kit Colbert also to accelerate out of the field. With this kind of action from behind, the distance to Snoblin might start to shrink just a little bit, but he still has so much distance on the rest of the group. He definitely has the next 5 locked in. There's no question with the bell ringing. 6 to go. 3, 4, 7. So smooth tonight. Nice move before the last sprint, and he just continues to try to hold tempo here. You can see him looking a little bit down at the legs a moment ago. You can tell he's hurting. He's trying to make it work for 5 more laps after this and see if he can find the big final 10, as that might just be what he needs to win this darn thing. This will not be enough to win yet, as this will only put him to 10 points. He's still off the lead by a little bit, even if they don't get points in this sprint, the rider currently in the lead. Snoblin for 5 more at 5 to go. And here comes Andrew Lynch making a big jump. 301 picks up 3 points. Park and Takahashi, the next 2 across. The lead of this race is very tight, all things considered. Your leader is still Scherfer. He didn't pick up a point in the last sprint. He's got 11. After that, I got David Takahashi and Peter Snoblin with 10 apiece, tied for second. Nearest to them is going to be Andrew Lynch with 8, the rider who made the big jump there a moment ago. 301 for the blue team, Gene Johnson Cycling. Mike Jors with 7, Jamie Park also with 7. Snoblin still holding strong. Getting down to the very critical moment here where the field is likely to accelerate a little bit, but they might also sit up as they're waiting for the final sprint. So this is perfect. If Snoblin can keep this gap, he might be just where he needs to be, especially with the smaller gearing here tonight. Your ability to cover those distances can be a bit tougher for these riders. They're just not used to powering the 86-inch in this way for that kind of distance. So I think Snoblin may have found the recipe here for his victory. If he can get the final 10, he would be uncatchable. In the math here. 2 to go for Snoblin. Digging deep. One more time around the track before we hear the beautiful sound of the bell signaling the end of this impressive solo effort. 2 to go for the rest of the field now. It comes across the line. Stott's giving the field a bit of energy here as he leads things down the back straight. You can still see the gap is pretty significant, though admittedly smaller than it was but about 5 or 6 laps ago. And Snoblin getting the bell. Can he wrap this thing up? He wants the big win tonight. Snow beyond the lead for Airtech Racing. 1 to go. The field, if you want the field to catch, they got to go now. It's a big move. Takahashi, the rider in white, trying to play the spoiler. Can he make it there in time? It's so far. Takahashi trying to drive the pace down the back straight. Snoblin still on the lead. Takahashi and Jors going down the back straight. Oh, this is the moment. Can Snoblin hold on? He looks like he's starting to pedal some bricks. Can he get the last minute effort? Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Takahashi, Jors, Snoblin. Oh, Snoblin! Woo! A matter of inches to the line. Mike Jors, how dare you? What a try. Peter Snoblin almost spoiled at the line, but he holds on by half a wheel or less. What a finish. How about it? Peter Snoblin's night. Where is he at? Wave Snoblin. Give him a wave. Say, here we go. All right, put your hands together. That was fantastic. What a fun effort. And it's always fun to watch the athletes go on those solo efforts. It looks easy. It's like, I don't have to sprint anybody, but we know that's hard. No break. No one to sit on for any sort of break there in that effort. An impressive way to finish. The Open women are coming out for their gear check here real quick, and then we're going to bring out our last group for the points races before we get into these fun and fast eliminations. Oh, the racing's good here tonight. The Velodrome always hosts a great sights, great memories, good food, good beverage, good times here on a Friday evening. Thanks for joining us again and being a part of this special community and supporting our riders by being here. We appreciate you all. And of course, our athletes putting on a great show for us. We all appreciate them and love what we're doing here tonight. We've got one more group for this points race. Our Open women getting set to go here. On deck, we get back to the Cat 1-2 men, the first of the elimination races. Our last series for tonight. Each group will go on, and you get to watch the back of the field get pulled every single lap. An always fun and thrilling race. What a great one to end on. I like how Peter made me front load my work tonight. It just gets easier and easier as we go. And off we go. This one's got 25 laps on the cards for a 5x5 format. Same points rules as you're used to seeing. 5 to the leader, 3 to the second rider, 2 to the third, and 1 to the fourth. Double on the final lap, and then you'll find your winner at the end by who has the most number of points. Once again, a little bit of stream issues this evening. If you're on YouTube rewatching this again, thanks for tuning in to check the video upload. We're going to be doing those the same night as we record these races, as we continue to have a little bit of trouble getting our things out to the world live anymore. But you know what? We'll still record it and put it up for everybody to rewatch later. That's always worth the effort as well. So look for that on our YouTube channel later tonight for the upload. There is the whistle. Race is underway. 25 to go for the Open women. First bell at 21. Emily Alexander for Liquid Velo starts off the race, but not long before time to change things up. It's Emily McNary, if I'm not mistaken, takes a huge jump here very early on, trying to see what she can do in the early parts of this race. Annette Williams also playing into this. Very quick start here for these two. Williams jumping up onto the fun that McNary started out of turn 2. Another part of our mission here, folks, if you're not aware, velodromes are not a common sight across the United States. In fact, within the United States, we're the last one left in our region. The Pacific Northwest, this is our home. This is the place for track racing across many states in an entire area of the United States. We've got a couple partners up across the border to our north in British Columbia that are still hosting velodrome racing. So all the support you give us here, not only just in terms of coming out and cheering on the racers. Spending your, of course, hard-earned dollars within the Velodrome also makes a huge difference. If you want to find more ways to make a difference and help either donate or help us in our off-season campaigns, you can be sure to just have a conversation with one of our staff. You can always send us an email. Check the website for opportunities to either be involved as a sponsor, to just donate money directly on our website to any one of our major programs that we have here, including our juniors, including all the other activities that we do with our rider program, our development programs. Or, of course, if you just want to look to volunteer, you can also do so. The starting point is velodrome.org for all that info. Our group all together here. For the most part, our starter is still in this group now. We had a little bit of attack early on, but it settled down pretty quickly. At 21 to go, the bell rings. We got a couple riders from kind of our new upstart team from a year or two back. The Breakfast Racing team showing up here today. It was 225 there on the front. McKenna Lee's coming up here from Puyallup racing there for the team at the front. They've really kind of grown massively in the last couple of years, really focused on being a very inclusive team, open to women, non-binary, trans, femme, and all identifying in between. A very great team showing up here in the Seattle area recently. Number 18 flying fast to the front, picks up the first 5. It's going to be Darlene, Williams, and then McNary. Victoria Park, your early leader with number 18, with 5 points after the first sprint. Darlene with 3 in second. Annette Williams in third with 2. Emily McNary in fourth with 1 after the opening sprint. Nine riders in this field, and 4 of them, with points now. Your race leader, number 18, Victoria Park, after the first sprint. Sitting near the back now, kind of recovering just for a little bit here before the next effort. A little bit of acceleration now coming from the group down the back straight. It's Victoria Park, your current race leader, feeling encouraged here after winning the first sprint. Wants to try to do the work to keep things quick here. We'll be getting the bell this lap. Park leads currently Williams and McNary as they kind of form the front edge of this thing. Bell's ringing. Points next time. Your race leader looking over the shoulder, waiting to see if somebody else is coming into view. Still Park at the lead of this thing, and now sort of in a holding pattern. She brought things up to speed and is now kind of backpedal just a little bit, sort of waiting for the attack. Doesn't want to try to go all the way around the Velodrome in the lead at top speed. Williams will try to leap this thing up. Saw some movement there, everybody kind of flicking up quickly to get out of the way as both Williams and McNary accelerate and move to the right a little bit. Williams looks like she'll take charge here for 5. McNary will find 3. 2 for Park, 1 for Darlene. Unofficially, I got a double tie here. We got Annette Williams and Victoria Park, both with 7. And we got McNary and Darlene, both with 4. A tie for first and a tie for third going on right now. Your leaders, number 11 and number 18, as it currently stands. 14 to go. We hope you are as excited about being a part of Redmond Derby Days as we are next week. And the great festivities of that downtown festival and carnival experience. I mean, the highlight of it, of course, in our perspective, is the Friday night collaboration we have here. 7 o'clock Friday night racing 1 week from today. Coincides with the greatest downtown party in the city of Redmond. And we're going to try to carry on the fun well into the evening here. A beverage garden, food trucks galore, and of course, great racing in store. We've got an invitational sprint going on. So top speed racing in front of the home crowd. That's going to be fun to watch. Including also a featured very fast program as some of our competitors from the GP are actually coming in a little early. We're already seeing some of those names show up on our race lists, and we're very excited about what that'll mean for both the speed of the racing and also the fun we all get to have together. That's next week, Derby Days, Friday night race. 7 o'clock start here at the Velodrome. 1 week from tonight. I am reminded also by one of my board members, it's good to talk about the Saturday night, which is the next day starting at 6. So we have a special double session of racing for Derby Days weekend. On the Saturday, we are bringing in juniors, Cat 3s and 4s for some extra bonus weekend racing as we kind of created a special race night on Friday. And we also think our juniors are going to be pretty darn fast as they're going to be coming back from their elite junior nationals time effort here going on now. So you can look forward to that on Saturday, the 15th, the day after our Friday night racing special. And here is 11 to go. Next time around, points to the front 4, 5 to the leader. Breakfast Racing Team now finds their way to the front. I believe that's Kathleen Dolan, number 226, if I'm not mistaken, that has taken over the lead spot. One of the leaders, Victoria Park, right on the wheel, as there's also the other leader, Williams. Ooh, she does a very good move there. She's trying to hold Park down. Park's having a hard time finding a way out of that darn sprinter's lane. Well played by Williams, as I think Park just waited a bit too long to get out clear. Here comes Williams, Darlene, and now Glover will come up number 22 for her first points in the race. 21, McNary gets a single point. Moving off the front here at 19 to go. This is McKenna Lees for the Breakfast Racing Team. And Victoria Park, number 18, joining up in a new team off the front. And their duo setting the new pace. One of them, of course, coming into this as your race leader. She lost it in the last sprint, so she says, oh, I got to go back and get those points now. This is certainly one way to do that. Currently leading the race, I've got Annette Williams now with 12. In second with 7 is Darlene, tied with Victoria, also with 7. In fourth place would be Emily McNary with 5. Glover's got 2. 8 to go. There's your 2 leaders off the front, getting a little bit of help from the grandstands here. They must have some fans who think these 2 should keep rolling. Park and Lee is making a nice duo here. See a little bit in the field of a little bit of in-racing going on. The riders are paying attention to themselves rather than thinking about this breakaway just yet. There goes Glover. Coming up from the Portland area to compete here this weekend. Looks like she wants to try to keep this thing a bit closer. She says, come on, Let's get up there. Anybody going to help me here? Not yet. It's still our 2 breakaway riders. Seeing 7 to go. There's only 2 sprints remaining. This could be a huge move for Park, especially, who already has points. Number 18 came into it with some points already. This could be all she wrote in terms of finding the end of this thing. As she did not find the way to beat Williams in a sprint last time, this is certainly one way to go. I can see the flash of the equipment down here. Dennis has been hanging out all day taking pictures. We got some more at the finish line here. I know a lot of people have been posting after the racing. We've got lots of great photography going on here from all sorts of different angles. 6 to go, and the bell's ringing. Our 2 leaders definitely on pace for points this time. The real question is, can they keep away from this field for the end or not? Tricky stuff here for our lead group. Again, we're really watching number 18, and the lead group is very excited about this position right now. She had the lead, lost it to Williams, now trying to find 5 here. But so is Lee's for the Breakfast Racing team. Maybe they're going to try and work together, though. They may have already come up with a strategy that if they sprint against each other, it's harder to stay away. So looking a little cooperative. Maybe Park's just okay driving it for this lap to take the 5. Park and Lee's come across for 5 and 3. Here comes a sprint. It's going to be Annette Williams for 2 and Erin Bailey for 1. Annette Williams still leads. I got her at 14 points. Park, the winner of the last sprint, closes that gap down. She now has 12 points, only 2 separating her from the leader now, Williams. After that, I got 7 points to Darlene, 5 to McNary, 3 to Lees. 4 to go, and your lead group has been found by a chasing bridge here, as I see Darlene, Williams, and Glover have decided to do the effort necessary to join the front. A very critical move here, especially for number 11, who would like to make sure she ends up on top tonight, makes her way back into this group, guaranteeing she has a great shot at getting points in this final sprint. 3 to go. Park on the lead. Darlene, one of the riders to help make this bridge happen. Number 11 right behind her. Williams, the rider currently in the lead of the race. Right behind her, Glover, who's found a point before, wants to try and find some more here at the very end. And then finally, Lees, who found her first points in the last sprint. She has 3 to her name. And everyone behind scrambling to hold on to the quick pace from the leaders now. Two to go. Park trying to make this thing fast again. Says, I didn't like the way that last sprint went. I'm going to go early. Can you stay with me? And a quick response from Darlene says yes. The field trying to hold on to this thing. It's really been kind of broken apart quite a bit here. Our leaders now almost becoming a group of 4, but I think Lees will be able to hold on to this if she can accelerate just a bit onto the wheel of Glover coming out of turn 4. Just in time for this critical final bell. 1 to go. Great race here for Victoria, who continues to put herself in a great position, but despite all that effort to get away, the race leader has come right back up to the front. It's still here. It's still Williams. It's still Darlene on her wheel. Glover also sneakily makes her way up into this. And here comes the savvy vet, Annette Williams, always so good in these sprint situations, attacking out of turn 3 like this. It's going to be 3 riders up by side. Here comes Darlene out of the corner too. She doesn't want to give this thing up. It's going to be a big one. Williams, can she close it down? Darlene trying to hold on. Williams will do it. For the final sprint, a big 10. Darlene for 6 more, and Park will still find 4. Glover will find 2 in the final sprint. Exciting finish there for the Open Women. Great racing all around. We got a few more finishers here. We're almost all cleared away before we'll call up for this elimination. Stand by. To the rail, elimination coming up. Cat 1, 2 men. All right, and off we go. This will be a pretty quick neutral. We'll talk about the race quite a bit as this one goes on. I have to announce a lot of riders and numbers as we're going to be eliminating riders from the back of the race every single lap after this neutral is completed. One rider per lap, last across the line, is done and out. And we go all the way down to the end. So the longer the race is, of course, is going to be determined by how many riders show up. On the first lap here, after the neutral lap, we're going to eliminate a rider. The first rider eliminated also gets a beer preme for this fun night tonight. They get the go signal. The only caveat from our officiating team is that they got to try. You got to be in the field. You can't just sack it off the back and go stand still. So try to be in the race. First one out still gets the benefit of the beer preme. Get on over and enjoy a beverage on the house. As it is as Snoblin demands, we shall do. The elimination underway here for the Cat 1-2s. First rider out gets the Beer Garden excited as we're joining them quickly. And 1-3-1 is Matthew Brady. Congratulations. You lose and win at the same time. I could see some fun iterations on this. I'm looking at Chip Chase, who's out there racing right now. We were thinking about how to do like random laps for preems in a race like this. $116, Vincent. 116. And if you're new to watching elimination racing, if you haven't seen an event like this, I always try to tell the fans to kind of post their eyes somewhere near the back top area there where you see the riders kind of strung out. You'll notice Scott Grinsell in the gray, right behind him, pink riders, Nolan Adams. They're going to be kind of where the most action is in these early laps. They're going to be the ones moving forward and back a lot. And that's also going to be the ones that are critical to kind of nipping other riders out of the group. Scott Grinsell not having enough there. He'll be 181 pulled. And I think I heard the pop of a tire at the same time. So I think we got Carl Cunningham, the rider in the white. Sounded like one of the tires. It looks like from here the rear wheel might have lost it. This is a no pole lap. No pole. No pole. We have an exit either way, though. Maybe a mechanical situation. Okay, mechanical for 112. This is another no pole lap. No pole lap again. Consecutive no pole. The almost elimination. Our bike's got to keep working here. All right. So this is a no pole. No need for the competition here. Just keep rolling it. No pole for one more lap here, and then we'll get back to it as we've already dropped 2 riders. We resume with the eliminations next time unless somebody else decides to, I don't know, pull their handlebar off or something. Please don't do that. Brad Cunningham at the lead of the field, the rider for Keller Rohrbach Racing. You can watch the back end again where sort of the movement tends to happen. Ben Flom decides to go away to the front. That's definitely more his speed. Nolan Adams at the far back is going to be the rider responsible to kind of nip somebody out of this race. Accelerating over the outside, maybe trying to bring rider for Kovic and a speed out of this thing. It is 122. Martinez done out by Adams, who's finding a bit of challenge of getting around the eliminated rider here. That's going to be a big double effort just to get back up to the group. He should probably carry that momentum into this and just kind of roll up ahead. Indeed, he will just kind of carry it back up to the top of the field here. No reason to hold on to that effort any longer than he needed to. Look down at the sprinter's lane this time. 134 is Haldeman. Haldy of the single malt Velo squad. Eight riders remain. Cunningham comes back to the front as Flom's been at the lead for a few laps. Adams on the back end, right behind Darlene. They're now going to be the ones whipping around at the rail, trying to knock somebody out of the race. Adams with acceleration, trying to leave out a rider in green. 141 Hofer. Adams does it again. Apparently our buds across the Atlantic, I learned that my history lesson is the devil takes the hindmost name, this classic name about rider at the back. I guess Nolan's the devil. Whoever's at the back gets to take somebody out. He's been doing that role nicely, but it's now going to change roles here. Liquid Velo trying to get some nice acceleration. Just enough. Ben Flom, 126 in the sprinters lane, caught as Chip Chase does just enough to stay in. Down to 6. Chip Chase and Adams. Adams accelerating pretty early here. Ooh, kind of tight there for Found Cycling. I believe that's still Brandon Russell out there in the mix. Does Chip Chase have another acceleration here? He's going to have to pick it up. No one's back there with him. It's just Chip Chase in the back. Does he have enough? Not this time. And you have your top 5 now as 117 will make his exit. 5 to go in this race in terms of the eliminations. Means 4 more laps to kind of figure out where we are here, unless there's any more mishaps or delays. It's still Nolan Adams at the back here. Can he get another rider? Darlene in a tough spot here in just a moment. He has a green rider on his right, and now Adams swings way up and around as the rider in blue, Darlene, finds himself in that second lane. Oh, nowhere to go. 119 is Darlene, 5th overall in tonight's elimination. Nice race for the rider from Center Cycles. Your winner for the points race, Sandoval, sits at the front of the group now. Adams feeling he needs to just get out of this. He's going to leave. Brad Cunningham in a bad position. The rider in the sprinters lane with the best chance here of getting eliminated, I should say the worst position. And indeed, it will be 128 as he's way down that sprinters lane, kind of gets left behind. Nowhere to go in time. Can Nolan Adams get it again here? He's just been playing it from the back of the field over and over again. Currently in the top 3 spots now. Right in front of him is Russell, who tries to accelerate here. Sandoval, who's had some great top speed here tonight as well. Overall, strong riders left in this group for sure, as Adams is playing it savvy from the back. Can he do it again? Trying to leave Sandoval out of this race down the sprinters lane this time. It'll be Adams coming across the line first, and 101, Sandoval. It's Russell versus Adams here, and Adams has played out the back wheel of these riders the entire time. He just glues right on. Can he hold on to the acceleration from Russell? Very strong rider for Found Cycling Guild, tries to use the hill. Adams has got some finishing speed though here. He grabs the wheel and he's going to launch it. Diana Racing trying to take this one home, and Russell says, yeah, no way. Nolan Adams coming around on the home straight will find the elimination tonight. Taking the top spot. Savvy Racing from the back of the field time and time again. It pays to be the devil once in a while. Not many in the crowd might have seen her race, but I know I've watched McKenna McKee race a few times, one of our nearby racers and super strong competitor. Just won Elite Women's the sprint tournament just moments ago. So local rep here, not right here in our Velodrome, but we've seen her race a lot, so we're a fan of McKee. Pretty exciting stuff. Yeah, so a lot of our riders here will definitely know McKee. So very exciting stuff. Invited to Worlds, that's exciting stuff too. Always good to have a Worlds competitor represent your region. I appreciate the folks on the infield keeping me updated about things not to do with the race I'm watching right now. On the track right now, our second elimination race. It's the Cat 4 men in their neutral. We're going to start out at turn 4 with the sound of the whistle. They're being encouraged to get a little closer together. It's a little strung out in the back. And he'll get the go-ahead. The whistle sounded, racing underway. Next time around, last rider is done and gets a beer. There's also that $10 cash piece of it. But yes, that's right. Junior's not so fortunate. I get it. There's a few kinks in here. And sprint coming over the top. Looks like Logan Lee's doing just enough. 4:49 makes the exit early here. Francisco says, all right, the best loss of my life. .439 is Spencer Snow. Caught that time. Spencer. Obviously, less riders in the group will be a shorter race. Already down to 8. Kevin Ulrich's been leaning here for a few laps. A rider that seems to enjoy a little more of that consistent output, and so he'll move himself to the front so he doesn't have to deal with all that nonsense in the back of the group. Logan Lee for the Jerry Baker Juniors has played the devil's role for a few times here. He's trying to do it again. The rider in the black and blue. 4:17 is found. Bernard Yee. Had a really strong showing in our points race tonight, but Logan Lee takes him out this time. Still Ulrich driving this train with Logan Lee in the caboose position. Trying to make it away on the right side and might be able to do it again. Looks like he will. 4:10, 4:10, Patrick Ratchford. Patrick gets caught down that sprinter's lane. Gosh darn it. It's the riders over the top. Why can't they just stop speeding up? 6 remain. Logan still sitting in that back position, trying to sneak in time and time again. Can he find one more rider? Trying to make one more rider's night over. Oh, he will. 4:19, Dan Pham. Dan Pham, the junior, kind of comes off of the group for the points race, but here he is being a total menace in the elimination. The junior still in it and now secures himself a top 5 position in this relatively small elimination, but still a nice feat considering where he's been previously this evening. A really good showing here. Can he continue this campaign of terror? One more victim potentially, trying to take out the red rider right next to him. Maybe someone down lower. Ooh, is it gonna be the kid this time? .407 is exiting. 4:07. Yeah, one rider behind you, 3, so these 3 are good. It'll be 4:02 this time. 3 remain. And the kid made it to top 5, and then it was just a little bit too much speed from the whole group there. And now we see our remaining 3 trying to duke it out around the turn now. Anton Ernishev starting to be overtaken here. Here comes Jordan Gray now to take over the lead in this sprint. The bell's ringing, 1 to go. And it'll be Ernishev, it looks like this time. 4:03 makes his way off. It's Malikian and Green. Malikian had a hard time finding points in this points race, but he plays this elimination really well. And he's now in the sprint for the top 2 spots between him and Jordan Green now. It's Jordan in the lead out position. Malikian playing right on his back wheel. Malikian starting to come into the front here. A little bit of a challenge, but it's just a strong showing here tonight from Jordan Green. Looks like he's got enough to close this down. Nice race from Malikian here, who finds his way all the way to the top 2 spots. A second place finish for him, and then of course Jordan Green with a nice win here tonight. Cat 3 men are coming to the rail for their elimination. We've got 2 more races this evening, folks. Stay tuned for the fun. Another elimination. This is our biggest group, so it just goes to kind of to common sense that this will be our longest elimination tonight, as we're going to have to work our way through this field. Still with the same Beer Garden benefit for the first eliminated rider. Sure, if we're kind of looking at the bike a little bit here, do we have a potential mechanical again? This is not an unusual thing on a night where we did take the gearing apart and kind of maybe have some changing up of the equipment. Not something that happens on a normal Friday night, as most of our riders, most evenings will just keep the same equipment throughout the competition, but we do have 1 rider off the back, so we have to go around again. Need to come together for this rider. Still in the neutral, still in the neutral. Still in the neutral. We're going to bring our rider back in. It looked like we had a little bit of an issue jumping up on the bike, but it looks like everything's coming back together again down the back straight, and we should be okay as long as that contact happens. And then we got 1 rider starting to pop off the front a little bit. Snoblin getting in trouble again. Here we go. All right, bring it together, Cat 3s. All right, here we go. That's looking better. And the signal's given. Racing is underway. Yo-yoing forward and backwards a little bit there. Gotta love it. I mean, you don't have to, but next time around, last rider across the line is eliminated and awarded with a beverage. Poured in our beautiful Stanley Cups, coming to us again from our nice local sponsor here in Seattle, maker of the classic thermos. The green one, you know, the one on the shelf that never fails. It always works for you. Let's see who our last rider across the line here is. We got a rider up high for Dyna Racing, trying to hold on. Hyun Lee. It's James Campbell Harris, who probably paid Peter Snoblin to put this into this race. Just a guess, just a guess. The strangest version of collusion I've ever heard. .333 caught that time. Gene Wainwright for Dyna Racing. All right, here we go, another one. Hyun trying to snap somebody out the middle in the bottom of the field here. 328, Sherfree caught in the sprinter's lane. 328, Hyun does it again. He watched his kid do it, Logan, in that last race. He's gonna try to show Junior what's up. As the rider for Dyna Racing finds another See if he can do it again as he positions himself in the back top part of the field. Good tempo from the field so far, being led by their fearless leader, Snoblin, at the front. Hyun Lee caught that time, didn't have quite enough snap to hold on for one more lap. I see 11 in the group still, with Snoblin continuing to play the role of leading this thing around the track. Z-Dog for Fell Swoop accelerates to stay in. 315, Grant Gibson called. 315, Gibson. Good work there from Z-Dog to make a nice run along the rail for Fell Swoop. He'll stay in another lap. Now Mike Ritter finds himself at the back of the group. Makes a nice move here. Should be able to accelerate and maybe find someone else out of the back. I'm looking at a rider in green in a bad position. He knows it. Colin Stotts already shaking his head saying, yep, that'll work. Looks to me now, I believe Park back here behind Ritter, who now swings out to the right. Z-Dog in a bad position. He knows it's coming. 303 for the Fell Swoop Racing team. Park and Ritter still making up the back part of this race. Two Dyna Racing riders taking over the helm for their teammate Hyun, who was back here. The yellow Brevetti in a bad spot here. 310 is indeed Tony Brevetti. It's always in that mid-low part of the field where you're seeing these eliminations come from as riders start to realize it just maybe a bit too late. They move up a little bit out of the sprinter's lane, but there's just nowhere to go. You move into the middle of the field and there's still nowhere you can move forward. You're just running into the back of another wheel. Kind of keeps happening here. So look out for the rider in white down here in the sprinter's lane. Kit kind of in a tough spot here as the field's going to come over the top. Oh, 3-2-4, Kit Colbert. Not trying to get the guy out, but it just kind of looked like a bad position again. Whenever you're in that second lane in the sprinter's lane, you got to be thinking ahead, and it's tricky. You're now down to a size where all these riders can fit side by side if they really want to. Still kind of condensing down to that sprinter's lane. That's going to be a tough spot. I think that's a dangerous place to be for Takahashi at this stage of the race. Likely just nowhere to go here. An acceleration from this top group. 318 is Takahashi once again. The second line in the sprinter's lane. It seems so comfy. Sit in that wonderful draft being provided by the consistent effort of Snoblin here. Not only with the solo break to win the points race, but here he is just serving so many laps to the front. Going to be a hard one for him to win this race. One of these laps, the riders left are just going to come around him and probably take him out of the race, but still, he's already gotten himself a top 5 position, even as it is. 307 is Jors, right down the middle. Thought that might have been the lap they found Snoblin, but nice acceleration for the rider in the sprinter's lane. He holds on. The elimination comes out from the middle of the group. 4 riders remain. Here's your top 4. It's Jamie Park and Mike Ritter still playing the role together at the back. They've been doing it this entire time. This looks a lot like our first race in the eliminations for the Cat 1-2s. As Nolan Adams giving some notes maybe to his teammates about how to race this thing. Ritter says, all done. Even takes the glorious bow. We got Parks. Snoblin takes the lead position. Parks right on his wheel. Andrew Lynch for the Gene Johnson cycling team. I haven't called his name yet because, well, he's still in the race. And he's just kind of right behind Snoblin, kind of in that near front spot. Very consistent effort. Hasn't had to put out a whole lot of energy yet. He should be in a really good position to win this race. I'm thinking this is going to be a tough one, even for Jane Parker, who's been very strong here. This might be it for Snoblin. And it will be. Snoblin finds third here today in the elimination in his special edition of racing here on a Friday night, and a good showing. 2 races in a row. Let's see what happens here between Park and Lynch. Lynch should be the fresher rider. He's forced to take the lead spot right now, so he's going to try to shorten the race before getting into his effort. Park trying to fake a little bit of a run up there maybe. Doesn't really do anything with it. They've shortened the race all the way into turn 3. They both will take the sprinter's lane at the same time. This gives some advantage to Lynch. It's not a very long race now. Park still has the advantage here if he can get in some speed and try to come around him. Lynch should be strong enough to hold it. He will. Gene Johnson Cycling does a nice job here, just kind of hiding in the front of the field. Doesn't have to do a lot of work too long. He's got good legs to finish and a great finishing sprint for the rider, 3:01. And Park playing kind of that double role the entire race shows once again that Dyna Racing likes to play it in that position, has done well here tonight. Open women to the rail for the elimination, our last race of the evening. Stick around for one more fun and action-filled race here for a Friday night. And our final elimination now getting underway. After the neutral, get them started for the real elimination, of course, to get underway. Currently in neutral. Eliminate down to the last rider. First rider out gets the super awesome prize of a free beer for your loss. Like a consolation prize. Unless you're a junior, we know. $10 also. Sweetens the deal. We'll get them started on turn 4. Legs are pretty well here getting together. Let's see if they can hold it, and we'll get them started for this final race on a fun Friday night. Thanks again for being with us this evening. It's been a wonderful night of racing. I know I was looking forward to this race program, and it delivered in some really fun ways. And of course, thanks to our athletes for making it such a great show for us this night. We've got one more for you, and it's underway. With the sound of the whistle, racing now begins. And the elimination getting started here for the open women. Kelly Darlene putting in quite a few laps here this evening. Decides to start things off for the group at the front. Breakfast Racing team is organized at the back right now. And here comes our first elimination now between 206 was giving me a look. We'll give it 206. Well, what do you guys was like eyeing me there like, all right. I saw it. Okay, cool. We got that one out of the way, and now we have our normal elimination remaining with our group 1 down. Let's see what we got now. Like a lot of the Breakfast Racing team at the back, they're going to be playing that role of trying to accelerate and find riders out One of our speedsters from the last race, Victoria Park's way at the back, but she'll move up quickly. A nice quick adjustment there. So she's in good position now, trying to leave out one of the breakfast riders. 226 is Kathleen Dolan. So again, we saw what Park was able to do in that points race. Wasn't the eventual winner, but a great strong rider. But a surprise us here at the very back there. There's a nice maneuver to move up quite a bit in this group. Darlene, Williams, and McNary, three names that have been kind of dominating overall tonight. And a lot of these races are side by side right now, so definitely some of your strongest riders trying to set the front edge while the rest is left to sort things out behind them. To 14 is Aaron Bailey. Just nearly getting caught by some of her teammates there who accelerated the last second. 7 riders remain. .224, Thompson caught that time. And it looks like another one of our members of the breakfast racing team is done with the fist bump too. Says, yeah, racing's done. Time to hang. McKenna Lees with a nice race night tonight is all finished up. 5 remain in our group. Darlene still sitting on the front of this. McNary at her side. Park way up to the right. Here comes Glover trying to reposition herself. Williams in the back row currently. Kind of not a great position for Williams, although she has a window she could jump into, although Glover might be eyeing the same window here. Ooh, who's it going to be here? It's going to be tight. Might be the kid down low. It's Darlene, number 9. 4 remain. All right, here we go. We're in the top 4 now. Glover with nice acceleration is going to drop McNary in the second lineup there. 21 is all wrapped up here, leaving 3 in our group. Glover in the front of the group right now. Williams on her wheel next to them both. Victoria Park. All 3 with a good evening here today. Williams showing her overall strength once again here tonight. Park with some great breakaway efforts in the points race. Made that race quite exciting and also very competitive. See what she can do here. She positions herself great above the other 2 riders. Williams trying to find the window and hold on another lap. She should be good to go. Glover will be left behind. Bye-bye. This leaves Park and Williams in a head-to-head, and Williams happily slides into the blue line behind Park's wheel. She's been kind of racing that blue line area a lot tonight, sort of sitting above the field, letting them kind of race below her a little bit. She now finds herself down the sprinter's lane, leading Williams, making this race pretty short here. Williams not jumping just yet, kind of waiting here to come to the home straight. Park, Williams, head-to-head. Our final lap tonight. Ooh, Williams! That was a good run at it for both of our riders. I thought Park might have just enough, but Williams, always such a good finisher here at our Velodrome. And what a great way to finish our race night this evening. Ladies, gents, friends of the Velodrome, one and all, thank you for making the trip out and joining us here this beautiful evening. It's been quite the treat. Our thanks to the athletes for putting on a fantastic show and for all of you for coming out here to make it so special. We appreciate your attendance. It's always what makes Friday nights so much fun for me, is having the live audience here to talk to and introduce the great sport to and kind of keep you up to date. So thank you for joining us for this presentation. Our thanks to our great sponsors that help make this thing possible. Make sure to show your support to all of them by partaking in their businesses and giving them some love and thanking them for being a part of our community. Stop by the Beverage Garden on your way out, or of course put in your order at the food trucks. They'll be hanging out for just a little bit here as we close down. More great racing here in July, folks. You do not want to miss the shows coming up next week and the following week. Friday night next week, we plan to have quite the party here during Derby days. We will love to see you back. You were a great crowd. We want you back for some more. And the Friday after that, don't forget the Vision Grand Prix, our fastest racing on two wheels in Pacific Northwest. You do not want to miss it. Once again, from all of us here at the Velodrome, thank you for joining us on this fun and beautiful evening. It has been my treat, and we look forward to hosting you again for more great racing here at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome.